I fucking read it.
Yeah, exactly. He's still fighting his 3 jail.
Public comment part of this, it's important to remember that this is a zoning issue, and we've asked your remarks be directed toward that zoning issue. It's a zoning issue today. There are other, naturally everyone knows that there's a possibility of a large processing plant to go there, but we are dealing with the zoning issue only today. And we ask you to keep your comments to that. The board, although we pass those rules for the next week and the next week after that, the next 2 weeks, we just have some very, I guess, general rules we'd like you to abide by today. First of all, since it is a zoning issue, we're asking that the speakers be from Wright County because it affects you. You're in Wright County. We're going to set a 2-minute limit today on your speeches. We ask that you, when you want to speak, come up to the microphone so everyone can hear. And for all of our guests here, in and out of Wright County, we are glad to have you here. We appreciate your interest in county government. We're going to insist on holding this hearing in a civil manner. And I will say this, if we do get either loud or boisterous, I will stop and I will give you one warning. If it continues after that, we have law enforcement here, and I am not afraid to have you removed from this meeting. We are going to be civil. We're going to discuss this as this is America, and we're not going to have outbursts of any nature. All right, having said that, we'll open up this part of the public hearing. We ask you to come to the microphone, and if you want to address this issue, to speak to the board, this is the time to do that. Is there anyone that wishes to speak to the board? Name and town for the record.
My name is Kathy Schnell. I live in Belmont. I am a 6th generation Wright County resident. The reason that I'm here today is that I oppose the rezoning of this property at this time. I don't understand why this is being done before there is any kind of incentive package talked about or made public. It seems like it's a rush. It's a rush to act on this, and the people of Wright County have no idea what is in your mind and what's going to come forth from this. May I say that I am opposed to the establishing of a hog killing factory in Wright County, and therefore am opposed to the rezoning of this property. I'm afraid that it will mean more confinements in our county. We already have as many as any county should need.
I don't want to interrupt.
Is that not germane to
But
this
I'd
topic?
stay on the zoning issue. Do you think that this would be a good place for industry to be? Is this a good spot for industry?
Perhaps some industry, but there's a wide variety of industries in the world. And I don't think it's a good place for that particular industry that's being considered.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. I'll leave the time. Still time. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that just to give you some background, my dad was an implement dealer in Belmont, and the best advice he ever gave me when I had a decision to make was to take a piece of paper and put a line down the middle and put the positives on one side and the negatives on the other, and I would advise you to do the same.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Luann Craddy. I'm from Belmont. I live in a community where my family has lived since 1857. I don't think being close to the river, but not so close to the river, is really a real scientific way of measuring. I came back to Iowa from California, and the water in California, nobody was flushing the toilets to save water. It was a real change for me to come back here and find out that it was okay to flush the toilet. You know, that's because Iowa had plenty of water. But in the future, water is going to be a real concern. When I first came back here, my dad was that same implement dealer that Kathy was talking about. And farmers were not building new houses at that time because farmland was so valuable. There is not an endless supply of farmland. Nobody built new houses, so they didn't take up that extra little postage stamp of farmland. So now we're putting industries there, like this endlessly tall slaughterhouse. I think a different kind of industry would be all right, but I don't like the idea of that. Are you the mayor of Eagle Grove?
I'm here as planning and zoning
Planning and zoning.
for Wright County.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay. Well, that's my concern. I think we need to think about it longer than we're thinking about it. I think that we don't need to have it all decided before people get to weigh in on this.
Well, that's what we're doing today. And-
Looks like my time's up.
Well, we're close back to a follow-up question. Do you think that the issue before us is to zone it industrial? Like the other speakers, do you favor approving this to have an industrial, make this an industrial area, or are you strictly for wanting to keep it agricultural?
You know, I think it should be agricultural. I think that our cities, our towns, we have places for industry in our towns. We have places for businesses in our towns. It doesn't need to be all Walmart. Yeah, I think our towns need population and need people who actually live there instead of, you know, coming in from all over the place.
We see a lot of that now, don't we?
Yes, we
All right.
do.
Thank you.
Yep.